City clerk, unfortunately, experienced a similar problem. It's the kids walking across from the high school to the library or the community center. And unfortunately, it's gone on and gotten too widespread, and more people hanging out in groups think they're invincible, unfortunately. What the problem is and how we can put an end to it. Mayor Pro Tem, you wanted to...
No, I was just going to say that, well, it's nice to talk about rules and warnings and responsibility. I don't think there's a kid out there that doesn't know that it is against the law, that they don't need any warnings, and it certainly is their responsibility and their parents' side by natural connection. But, I mean, they know what they're doing is trying to terrorize people, and that's why they do it.
Give the clerk your address.
Good afternoon. My name's Harold Joseph, 25311 Ronald Court. I'd just like to add, and I'm very impressed with the response of all those who responded. This is endemic to the city. My own grandchildren in North Oak Park were threatened when they came by bicycle from their house to my house, as is 3 or 4 blocks, a little bit north of Lincoln to where we live south of Lincoln. And they were threatened with their bikes being stolen. They say, hey kid, that's my bike, that's my bike. And so now they have to go a circuitous route to get to our house. I'd like to suggest, perhaps to the council, is to make a survey to see if other communities do have this problem, to what degree they have the problem, and those that are successful in solving it, what approaches do they take? I think the idea of people with cameras, that's a great idea, or what other situations we can avail ourselves would be great, but rather than reinvent the wheel, we have to stop this anarchy. And that's what it is, it's anarchy right now. And I'll just close, there's a story in the Second World War in Russia where a bunch of teenage kids were taking over the town because all the older men were in the army, and they were harassing the town. And the next morning, the senior citizens caught them and hung them from the various trees. There were no more anarchy. We can't do that, but might be a step.
Thank you for the follow-up. Mayor Pro Tem.
Dr. Josephs, did you call public safety? Dr. Josephs?
Yes, my name is Joel Margolis. I live on Gardner, also north of 9. I just wanted to bring to people's attention that although Mrs. Weiner spoke about the incidences of stopping cars in the middle of the street, there's actually a much more benign behavior that takes place prior to that. And that's just the fact that teenage kids are walking in the streets, boys and girls, with a gang mentality. You have to be almost afraid, and I have done so, to tell them to get out of the street, walk on the sidewalks, whether they're playing music, whether they're bouncing basketballs, but there's just a total disregard for the law. And whether it manifests itself to harassing people in cars is almost incidental at that point, because it could manifest itself into any criminal behavior. It's just harassing people. If you say anything to them, they swear at you, and it's just a total disregard to authority. They don't care. They don't care about the fact that I've been in the city my entire life, and they may have just come into the city, but according to them, they own the city, and they don't care how you feel. And I mean, it was just today, my son was beat up on Gardner. And we called 911, and luckily within minutes, the perpetrators were apprehended, 3 teenage kids. And they caught the kids immediately. You know, I've had my car stolen in front of the house, and so on and so forth. But the point is that one could say, possibly, that it all begins with people just walking through the streets, looking around, and knowing what the vulnerable points are. They can see where people are on vacation, what homes are empty, where people may be or situations may be compromised, and wherever there's an opportunity, a mischievous kid or groups of teenagers are going to be there. So the fact that they're just walking down through the middle of the streets without harassing cars is in and of itself a bad situation. And aesthetically, it looks horrible. It's uncivilized behavior. And that in itself can't be tolerated.
The same concerns were expressed by the couple of representatives from the West Oak Park Neighborhood Watch Group. Said
Okay.
a similar thing, and we've got to take control of
Absolutely.
the problem now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Or if,